Swire. Ms. Hasley, do you have a closing argument on behalf of Mr. Wilbourn? You may proceed.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Now remember, when we first started this case, we told you a very important thing. We said it's not a matter of who, where, how, what. We told you it was a matter of what. And what we meant by that is why did Tremaine Wilbourn shoot Officer Wilbourn? We also took responsibilities for the act that we said we did. That we did count 2, count 3, and count 4. We said we did those things. But we said we didn't kill Sean Wilbourn with premeditation, deliberation. It is now the first degree murder. Now, we also ask you to consider the fact that credibility of witnesses is important, and to watch and observe the witnesses that were going to come before you and see the touching. We ask you to do that as well. And we ask you also to pay considerable attention to the burden of proof that the state has to reach, to be able to prove the facts to you on each and every element of the case. So, the way this August 1st, 2015 shooting occurred is about two different kinds of things. It's about the things that we know, that we heard, and it's also about the things that we do not know. So I'm not going to review all the witnesses' testimony that we just heard from Ms. Swire, but I'm going to pick and choose certain particular testimonies that I think should be of importance to you. Premeditation means that somebody is thinking about doing something, doing it, and doing it intentionally. And if you look at what the lay witnesses testified to when they came before you, you're going to find that there was actually no premeditation, but just panic setting in. Who comes first before you? Marcus Wright. Marcus Wright tells us that he's right there. He's a few feet away on the driveway. He said he actually recognized the car. He's not talking to them. That's what he told you. He wasn't talking to them. He was just smoking a cigarette. But he's pretty close. We asked him to determine the distance between him and the car. It's about 10, 15 feet. He knows who they are. He doesn't find it unusual. They just park on the other side of the street. Nothing happened. Everything is quiet. And then suddenly, police car turns and shine the spotlight on the car. That's when everything goes on. You have shouting, howling. He hears words coming out of the mouth of the individual who he doesn't know is Tremaine at the time. He's hollering, he said. He's screaming. Get your cameras out. Record it. He said he didn't hear the officer say anything. But what he saw next was the officer pulling Tremaine out of the car. He's the only one who was close enough to see that. He saw him pulling him out of the car. But he didn't say anything. Then he says that's when he got shot. He didn't say he saw the defendant shoot Officer Wilbourn. So he heard the shots and he runs back inside to get Christopher Maniera's hand carried in. He's the one who said saw him pulling out of the car. Now what we didn't have a drug deal going on. We had two individuals in the car. We had Little Dave, and he testified to that, weighing his weed. He explained what he was doing. He explained he was going to serve someone. He was weighing his weed and Tremaine was on his phone. There was no evidence of a drug deal going on. At the time it happened, there was one car parked on the wrong side of the street. Even the other witnesses who were there, Oliver Jones, Christopher Freeman, nobody said anything was going on that was unusual. It was unusual for a car to park on the wrong side of the street, but nothing was going on. So Little Dave, when he was weighing his weed, like he called it, with the spotlight, he didn't think twice. He just took off and ran. Now, he's the one who parks. He's the driver. He parks in front of his uncle's house. He is about to serve someone. We don't know. Spotlight comes in, he runs, and he leaves Tremaine. He won't get caught. He said he tried to gather his weed, and he ran. Tremaine didn't run. Tremaine stayed. We did stipulate that he had a weapon. If Tremaine had something to hide or was afraid of doing anything wrong, he would have run, but he didn't run. He stayed. Oliver Jones and Christopher Freeman are on the porch. They're the other individual who actually see what's happening because they're outside. They say the same thing, both of them. The car was just parked on the other side of the street. Nothing was happening, it was quiet. Then they see the car, found out it's a police car, turning the corner, comes on a girls on somewhere. And then the spotlights shine on the car. They see Little Dave run away. And then they hear a commotion. Because everybody hears a commotion, remember. Some people run, some people hear, some people see. And everybody hears the commotion. And some people call it a scuffle. Some people call it a struggle. But Oliver says they knew it was something serious. That's what he said. And remember, Oliver Jones and both him and Christopher Freeman said they never heard the police officer say anything. Just a struggle, just a scuffle, just a few feet. But he still said he sounded serious. Now they can't really see what's happening in comparison to Marcus Wright because there are the big bushes in front of them. Now the bushes are not in existence because when we saw them on the photo, they were being cut according to Crystal. So they can see. They only can hear. But they do sure hearing, screaming and hollering. They're killing us. Get your cameras out. Those are the only three individuals who were close enough to hear what Tremaine was saying. Marcus Wright, remember, is the only one who saw the officer actually pull Tremaine out of the car. But they all heard something was going on. Jones and Crystal Freeman, they did something. Remember, on cross-examination, the defense asked them why they had suddenly found out that the suspect was backing away and shooting down. Those were not statements made during the time they were questioned by police on August 4th, 2015. And that comes to the credibility of the witnesses. The judge informed you of the credibility of the witnesses, whether you can believe everything they say, some of what they say or none of what they say. They were the only witnesses on August 1st that did actually challenge the statement that they had made prior. They had never mentioned that they had seen a suspect backing away. Then Bodyguard Jones says he never been asked the question. So those are the individuals who actually heard or saw the struggle. Everybody else who came after that, the police officers who came to the rescue of the fellow officer, were all rushing, all cars converging to Summer Lane. Those officers arrived when the accident had already occurred. They tried to save the life of Officer Morgan. In doing so, some things got moved. The car got moved a little bit to let the ambulance come through. And when they collected the evidence, they found 11 cartridges, actually 10 cartridges. And they said they were all over the place. And they showed you where those cartridges were located. But they also told you, and I think this is Miss Crutchfield, who was one of the neighbors, when she testified, she told you that she had noticed that glass had been broken or shattered. The bulb light by the entrance on the front door was maybe shut. She had the glass from the security door had fallen as well. She hadn't noticed that until an officer reminded her that she had broken glass. Her granddaughter told her that she had her glass shattering, but she hadn't seen evidence of it. There were bullets that were not found. And we had the 11th cartridge that was found later. Those are the things that were collected from the evidence in the area. We have answers to certain questions, but there are also things that we do not know regarding the shooting of Mr. Morgan. We do not know why Officer Bolton did not get up that night when he approached the home. You heard Ms. Swanson told you that the protocol is to normally notify dispatcher of your location. That night, when we approached the car, nobody knew where Officer Bolton was. Even more, when Little Dave ran, Officer Bolton didn't notify that he was in pursuit or that he needed to approach to secure a scene. No notification were given to dispatch. He was a solo gunner. He didn't have a federal officer. That we don't know. We also don't know what happened. There was a struggle between him and Tremaine. He didn't say anything. Remember, his fellow officers described him as a 5'10", 287 pound man. Remember what Hilda said about Tremaine And the photography said, even District Athlete said that the suspect who carjacked him was about 108 pounds. Officer Bolton doesn't talk. Officer Bolton pulled Tremaine out of the car and a struggle ensued. What we don't know, ladies and gentlemen, as well, as why Officer Bolton did not communicate and notify the appropriate parties of his location, is what happened into the mind of Tremaine at the time. Remember,
Your Honor, can we approach?
Yes, ma'am. The statements, arguments, and remarks of counsel are intended to help you in understanding the evidence and applying the law, but they are not evidence. If any statements are made that you believe are not supported by the evidence, you shall disregard them. Lawyers, ladies and gentlemen, can argue the facts. They can argue what is on the record, what was testified to in court. They can argue the law which the court has given you. They can argue reasonable deductions from the evidence, but they cannot argue things that actually speculate about things that were not before the record. They cannot actually speculate as to what somebody might have been thinking, because that would be something that is not on the record and it could not be argued. So those are three things lawyers can argue: the facts that you heard in court, they can argue the law, and they can argue reasonable deductions or interpretations from those facts that you heard. Ms. Paxton, make a decision.
thank you, Judge. So we have Officer Bolton pulling Tremaine out of the car. We have a struggle that follows. And then we have a shooting. Now, the 11 shots that were fired, eight of them reached Mr. Bolton. But we have cartridges everywhere. We have evidence of a wide shooting. It's not something that is focused, it's something that is wide. We have a weapon that is used and that shoots 11 cartridges before. We have broken glass across the street. We have cartridges location across the Mr. Royal just reminded you that February 1st was called by Mr. Lanier, Mr. Lanier, because we had found another cartridge later on. We still do not have a show of premeditation. So what do we have now? We have panic. We have Tremaine running. We have Tremaine taking the call from District Attorney, telling him, I shot the police. He didn't deny it. The state wanted to say he was slightly out of breath. But he's running along. And I don't know exactly what the distance was, maybe a 6 or an 8 of a mile. Maybe you have it in your notes, I don't remember, but he's slightly out of breath. And he comes and puts a gun on District Attorney and tells him, I shot the police. I need your call. Give it to me, I'm going to take it. It's panic, ladies and gentlemen. And it goes on. He drives and tries to park the car in a location where he knows someone. He didn't lie, District Attorney, he told him. And also a point to consider, if he intended to kill Sean Bolton with premeditation, why would he ask all those witnesses to get their cameras out if he was so intent on killing? He was thinking about killing, he wanted to kill, he intended to do it, and he did it with deliberation. That's what the state wants you to believe. Why would he ask people around him to record it? He didn't lie either when he approached us with that. He admitted, he said he did. That was not an attempt to intimidate. He needed the car to run away. Now remember, we do not know how people react in certain circumstances. They want to make you believe that flight is an indication of guilt. But some people, when faced with panic, do not always react the way we expect them to. Some people flee, some people fight, some people freeze. That was not the best decision that he made that day. That was not the best reaction that he should have had. But that is the reaction that he had. That does not imply premeditation and deliberation. And I know he had a gun. And we said he did. And I know he carjacked something. The list gets longer. He's an ex-felon. All those things that he's doing, he's not supposed to be doing. True. That is true. But that does not make him a deliberated, premeditated murder. And that does not make Tremaine a cold-blooded killer either. Remember, the burden of proof is on the state. When you go to civil court and they ask you to take the children away from their parents, they need a jury to find clear and convincing evidence. Here, we're asking you to find beyond a reasonable doubt that it was a premeditated and deliberated killing. It's a higher burden. It is a very important determination for you to make. You have to make sure that all the elements of the crime of premeditated murder are met. We have also requested from you at the beginning that you use your common sense. And I think Mr. Anderson and Tom went along about telling you common sense. Everybody tells you to use your common sense. But there are certain things that you have to look in this case. You have to look for those things and draw from your personal common sense. Not just the fact that it was a tragedy. We do not take that away. We do not deny it. There was an officer who got shot at night. And we admitted to shooting Officer Bolton. But this is the manner and way the state wants you to think that we did it, that you have to think very strongly. Determination of premeditation and deliberation is the essential part of this case. we're going to give you everything else without putting a question before you. Who did it? We know it. How? We know it. When? We know it. In the summer of 2015. August 1st, 2015. Where? On Summer Lake. We gave you that. We took away from. We are asking you to focus on what it actually takes to convict Tremaine Wilbourn of first-degree murder. So let's review the common sense part of this. We have a struggle that comes from the confrontation between Officer Bolton and Tremaine. Officer Bolton, we all know, like I said, is an ex-Marine, he's a bouncer, he's about 100 pounds heavier than Tremaine, and he doesn't say a word. So we might wonder what happened, what transpired between the two of them. Then we might wonder why Tremaine about it. He knows there are people around him. He knows he's being watched. He's not trying to hide. He's not trying to hide his identity, nothing. He's asking those people to help. That's a cry for help at that point. And then the panic with the shooting and the 11 bullets that are flying over the place. And then the running and taking the car from District Avenue. And then going back home to a neighborhood that is familiar with. And then, August 3rd, turning himself in. Not turning himself into LPD, not coming here to 201 Poplar, going to the marshal's office, to the federal building. That's when he was not going to 201 after that. He went to the marshal's office. Now, the sex only the sentence 2 days later, when everybody was closing in on him and he was about to be found, he turned himself in. An officer that pulls you out of the car, I will submit to you that's enough for you. If you were to believe that, like the state told you,
Objection, Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes, ma'am. You cannot put yourself or family members in the position of anyone else in this case, because they'll be making decisions based not on what I told you have to make a decision on. That's the facts and the law. You cannot have any sympathy or prejudice for or against the defendant or the state of Tennessee. And I would tell you that in Tennessee, that if a police officer is making a lawful stop, a lawful frisk, a lawful halt, a lawful arrest, or a lawful search of another person, that person has a duty not to resist that stop or arrest or search. You cannot, under Tennessee law, use deadly force against a police officer because that officer is stopping you or searching you or putting a spotlight on you. You have an absolute duty not to resist that action of a police officer if that officer is engaged in a lawful stop or an arrest. In fact, under Tennessee law, you have an absolute right not to resist an unlawful stop or arrest. Does everyone understand that? Yes. Ms. Hassan, may proceed.
thank you, Judge. August 1st, 2015. Tremaine Wilbourn shot Officer Bolton. Yeah. mind at the time of Tremaine Wilbourn was not to kill on this boat.
Your Honor, may we approach again?
Yes, ma'am. Argument. Nobody can tell you what was in Tremaine Wilbourn's mind on August 1st, 2015. Nobody can tell you that. Nobody can actually guess or speculate what Mr. Wilbourn might have been thinking. Ms. Pastor can argue those things from the record and actually make deductions and reasonable deductions from the facts, but no one can ask or tell or suggest or have you speculate as to what someone else might perceive.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me rephrase that. On August 1st, 2015, Tremaine Wilbourn did not intend to kill Sean Boulder. And when you go back and you deliberate and you try to gather your notes and you all converse, which is what deliberation is about, conversing and putting your ideas, your experience, your lifestyle, everything that makes you who you are. When you think about those facts on that day, August 1st, 2015, think about whether the state met its burden of proof to tell you that this was a intentional killing. Think about whether all elements of the crimes have been met. Think about the circumstances and the testimony of the witnesses that you heard. Because I will submit to you that this was not a crime.